You've just lost a parent. What now? My name is Erich Schoeman. I'm a clinical psychologist with Matters of the Soul. Let's look at what this entails, losing a parent, and how you can cope and adapt after it. I've lost my own father and both of my parents-in-law who were very close to me. And losing a parent is one of the hardest experiences that you can go through in life, even if the relationship wasn't that great. It was still your parent. And losing a parent, even if it was over a long period of time or sudden and intense, both of them have their own unique experiences and hardships. It is not easy to lose a parent because parents usually are the ones who look after us. They're the ones who care for us, who give a lot of support and guidance, and that even offers like a sense of security. And if you lose a parent, it can leave this void and even make you feel like you're not so stable anymore. You know, many a times our parents are so involved in our lives as our parents were. Losing them means that you've lost somebody that important in your life who you could go to and talk to and who was close to you. Sometimes psychology would talk about identity loss. So it's like somebody who was a part of who you were, and they were a part of how you saw your life and where your life, they involved, your life was intertwined with them. And now it's difficult to see yourself without your parent and without them, as a part of your life. And for us, it was also so hard because our children's lives and our bigger family life was involved with our parents in life on a day-to-day basis. So it was a ripping effect of ripping somebody dear and important out of our day-to-day lives. Wow, a foundational support system was like ripped apart. And if you had a close relationship, it can almost feel like you are, somebody just, I don't know, hit the life out of you. It's quite impactful, even if you're a Christian, because as Christians, we have tremendous hope, which we can look at. But even there, it can hit you. But if the relationship was filled with unresolved issue or, stuff that wasn't really conflict that wasn't adequately solved, it can lead to you feeling regret and guilt and make the process a bit more complex because then it leaves you with that additional tug of war or ambivalence. You love them, but you feel regret about some things, or maybe you need to forgive them for some things, and that does add to the process and it can make it more complex. And losing a parent also means that the roles in the relationship and in the family change. Suddenly there's a shift in roles. Now the children sometimes are now the parents. They now the ones left. So we are the oldest ones in the family now. That could add stress. And suddenly, without that support, it could put some strain on you. And sometimes it puts strain on relationships that's already strained. How we experienced it is that, wow, a wonderful haven of support is just gone. And people who loved us and understood us, no longer there. And society can sometimes also help and also not help this process because society, people tend to be there for you for a while, but then they also go on with life and they've got their own challenges. And and sometimes they might expect you to react in a certain way, maybe grieve openly or so sometimes those things might also affect you. What do people think now that I've lost? It's been 3 months. You should move on. Why are you still crying about this? You know your mother is in heaven. Don't cry about this. So sometimes there could be those kinds of expectations, or people tend to almost forget that you've gone through this, and it can just be difficult. Um, what is important when you've lost a parent is to look at the people around you, who's still left, who's there, Rely on each other. Talk to people that you trust. Sometimes it might be necessary to talk to a therapist, talk to somebody who's trained to facilitate you through this. It can even be very helpful and meaningful to talk to a support group. I think that to continue doing the normal stress management things are very important. Go to church, spend time with the Lord daily, exercise. Try to stay away from all the either ors, the extremes. Too little sleep, too much sleep, too much food, too little food. Too much exercise, too little. Just try to go for the balance and the routine and the usuals, and try to fill your diary with the pleasant experiences like nature. Go to a show. I know people say, I don't want to go to church because I cry too much. Or I don't want to go all alone now and go and walk on the beach because we used to walk there. So some of those things might be triggering. And that's where it is important to have loving people around you and just to experience some of the normalcy. But sometimes you might feel the need to just withdraw a bit and for a while just stay on your own. I know it might sometimes feel like that's the best place to be, and then that is fine. Just do that for a while. But remember that spending time in the Word and spending time around people and having people pray for you, all of that is important. Sometimes you might even need medication because depression and anxiety and can result in maybe your parent's death was traumatic. Then medication could play a role, like antidepressants, mood stabilizers. But it is important to have people around you that support you, pastors, friends, and family, and to talk about your grief and give yourself time, acknowledge your own pain. And remember, if thoughts like I can't go on without them or I'm responsible for their death comes, remember to say to yourself, I might feel like I can't go on without them now, but eventually I will live, and I will even live fully. In fact, I can take their memory with me. And if there's a thought like I'm responsible for their death, and if it's not true, then it is not true. Maybe you've tried many things and you've tried your best to help them, but you couldn't save them. That breaks your heart, but it doesn't mean you're responsible. Sometimes feelings of anger might be present that somebody was more responsible for their death. That's important to acknowledge. And even forgiveness might play a big role in setting you free. May God bless you as you're on this journey of healing, slowly but surely, from this pain. Just go and have a look at our YouTube channel for longer videos on loss, and our website, mattersofthesoul.org, for more articles and other videos and resources on coping with loss and grieving. God bless.